Good morning. It's 9 a.m. I am going to share this real quick. So give me a second. Fast forward this if you're watching this. Not live. I got to share this on social media so people know the party's going on. The 9 a.m. party's going on right here. All right. Oh, crap. Okay, so yeah, I am just started using this new program called Check Out How Awesome My Hair Looks This Morning. I just started using this program like the day before yesterday called Clip Paint Studio. It's pretty rad. I'm enjoying it. It's the setup is a lot like Photoshop, but the focus is more on illustrations, and but you're still able to incorporate like this thing that the thumbnail that was for this video, the thing of Jason Voorhees. If you look at his clothes, they're textured with like linen, and I'm able to incorporate photos. So I got some textures on his mask, like I don't know, it's like this texture of, it's supposed to look like kind of like erosion or something like that. If you look at the texture as a whole, it doesn't look like that. It actually looks like something that could be a cool wrapping paper or something, cool design wallpaper or something. But I used it as a texture for his mask to show wear and tear and erosion. And then I used a piece of linen cloth texture for his clothes and then just painted over it. Those are the only two photo textures that I've used. The rest of it's painted. And then, of course, I used a couple brushes, like fancy brushes. There's some trees on here. I didn't paint the trees. I used tree brushes, as well as some grass, but everything else is painted and drawn up. And it's pretty cool. I touched up the Jason that I posted on Twitter and on Facebook. And some of the shading is darker. There's more shading. The boots are scuffed a little bit. And then I've drawn up or painted up a beach and a lake, Crystal Lake, a tree line in the back behind the lake. Pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. I dig it. I wish I had my setup so you could see what I'm working on. But you cannot. So today I'm just touching up some things. There's some things I'm not happy with about it. And I'm just gonna touch them up. I was on a radio show late last night promoting 3 Smile Mile. Thank you, Xtina and James, for having me on. The show didn't start until, well, the show started at like, I don't know, 10 or something like that. But I didn't get on there until they didn't have me on there until 11:30. So it was a late night. I mean, I'm usually up by then or at that time, but I'm usually not talking. So that was kind of a drag, trying to talk, and they had me do a reading. But I'm thankful for the promo. Any chance I get to promote a new book or an old book, I'm grateful for. Gotta put the fancy glove on. So yeah, we talked about 3 Small Mile, which is for sale on Amazon right now. Paperback and Kindle. If you want to get yourself a copy. Cat and Mouse crime thriller. I had a lot of fun with that one. Some people are already asking for a sequel or even a series using the main character, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to do that. I've gotten that a lot for certain books people think are sequel worthy, and or to turn into a series, and I just don't know. Somebody said I should write a sequel to Off Ostrums and Flies, and to be honest, I can't think of a worse book to write a sequel to. I mean, the story was told, right? I've toyed around the idea of doing Skullface Boy, but I love the ending of that so much. Maybe doing like a Skullface Girl. So it'd be kind of the same. Probably wouldn't be another road trip, but it would, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be kind of like lazily trying to cash in on something that I just shouldn't be doing. What the heck? There we go. I'm trying to get the hang of these layers, working these layers. Like I said, this program is set up like Photoshop. And man, what color did I use here? Oh, you know what? I bet normal. Okay, there it is. This should work. Cannibal Creator, somebody had mentioned, or a couple people would make for a good I could make a sequel of that, and honestly, that I could see, I could do that. I mean, I like the ending and just how it ends like that, but what in the world? But I could write more in that world. One thing that I've seriously considered is I've got a book coming out called. Man, that is not working either. I've got a book out or coming out in like May, I believe, called "How the Skin Sheds," and now that I could definitely do a sequel to. That would be fun. I would like to do that. And let's see. This color is not working either. What is going on here? That's the color. Normal. So it's Friday. Are you stoked for Friday? If you're watching this at another time, it might even be Monday. But Fridays, I like Fridays not for myself necessarily. Fridays, I like Fridays not for myself necessarily, but for my kids. I get excited for them. Fridays might as well be Monday for me, actually. I mean, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to either, do some cleaning around the house, take care of the dogs, hang out with the wife, and of course, a huge chunk of my time will be spent writing, and as of late, doing more artwork. So it's the same thing, but I get excited for my kids, just like at the end of the year when the summer comes. I get so excited for them because I remember running out of that school building and just being ecstatic that I didn't have to freaking deal with school for another almost 3 months. So yeah, man, I get really excited for them. Because I hated school. I don't know anybody who hates school more than I do, except for maybe my youngest son. My kids have never been the kind that get involved with all these extracurricular school activities like clubs and where they're involved with all this stuff and they don't get home from school until 5 or 6. My kids, they're just, none of them have been like that. My niece is like that, and my nephew is like that, where they love it, and I think that's cool to be. But man, I wasn't like that. My kids aren't like that either. We've all just couldn't wait to get out of the building. I hated everything about school. Everything. Okay. Well, that didn't turn out. Why didn't that turn out? That is very bizarre that didn't work. Oh, it's because, or wait, darken? I don't know. Darken. Okay, there. That did work out. Pay attention, Lutsky. I feel like those need to be a little darker. Darker still. I think I'll erase that whole thing. Tonight, excuse me. tonight is going to be rad. Pardon me. Because I get to hang out with Steve from Steve Talks Books and Laurel Hightower, who I have hung out with a lot on podcasts. We've hung out on a panel, I think, at one point. We've hung out on Final Guys like 2-3 times. I haven't read her new book. I think their newest book is still Below, the Mothman story. I hear it's good. I did like Crossroads. That was good. I enjoyed that. She's a good author. Nice person. Oh, and I had her on one of my podcasts. I think it was Paleo Cheese podcast. Yeah, had her on there. And maybe at some point we'll have her on Bleeding Page podcast. Speaking of Bleeding Page podcast, I have this thing set up for Bleeding Page called Calendly, which Jason and I have set up like certain scheduled dates or certain dates that we're open to have a guest on the show. And so when we want to have a guest on the show, we just send them the link to the Calendly, and they can choose a date and a time. And then we get a notification in our Bleeding Page email saying that this person that we invited to the show has scheduled the event. And we did this recently, because we've been on hiatus. We did this recently with Christopher Triana, author of many different books. And then I think it was the day before the show, he had to cancel. A day or two before the show, he had to cancel. He felt bad. And then I was like, oh, no problem. Here's the calendar again, reschedule. So he rescheduled, but I didn't get a notification email. But I just happened to catch it when I was on the website. And I had been invited to a panel with some other authors like Haley Piper and Jonathan Jans, Tim Meyer. And so I had to cancel the second appointment we had with Triana. Apologized, told him to pick another date, that I couldn't do that one. And so he did pick another date, didn't get denied, but I didn't know it. We didn't get the notification. And then finally, we finally we got we never got the notification. And then last night I get an email about 4:00 from Christopher Triana saying, hey, I'm just making sure we're still on for tonight at 6. And I'm like, oh, freaking great. And I had been watching the email, waiting to see when he was going to reschedule so that I could let Jason know and we'd be good to go. But never got that email. It's not Christopher's fault. It's Calendly's fault for not sending that. I don't know what the problem is. So I send Jason a text. He doesn't pick up, or he doesn't reply right away. So I sent him a message on Twitter. I said, check your phone. And he was in the movie theater watching a movie. He couldn't do it. So we have to schedule with Triana again. It'll happen eventually, but man, what a headache. Ridiculous. So I'm not going to use Calendly this time, and just make sure that, yeah, we'll get them on there eventually. This has happened before with Paleo Cheese. We weren't using Calendly, but just schedule conflicts, you know. Like we had Richard Chismar on there scheduled to be on there, and something happened. Jeremiah couldn't do it, I think. And then so we had to cancel, and then we could never get Chismar back on there again. I sent him another email, but he didn't answer back. I don't know if he didn't get the email or what, but maybe we'll get him on Bleeding Page. I think he's got a new book coming out. We can help him promote it. Yeah, using this program is a learning curve. When you're used to, I've used Photoshop for years, more seriously in the last maybe 6 years, and even more seriously in the past year, doing a lot of covers. I mean, I did Alphostromes and Flies in Photoshop, the original cover, with the fly on the cover and on the chalkboard. I did that like 2014, 2015. But last year, man, I probably did 40 book covers, 50 book covers, something like that. Some pre-made, some my own, some commissions. I may have done more than 50. I don't know. But last year's the year I got real serious and learned a lot more about Photoshop, like masking, which was a life changer. Yeah, masking was awesome. There's a masking tool in here, but it works differently, and I'm a little confused at how it does work. Enable mask, which is enabled. Okay. Show mask area. But for the most part, excuse me, if you're familiar with Photoshop and how it works, and you open up Clip Paint Studio, you're already kind of a step ahead. You recognize some of the kind of icons, some of the placement, even some of the shortcuts on the keyboard work the same. It's kind of like if you used GIMP and then you go into Photoshop or vice versa. You got kind of a head start with how things work. Man, I do not like how this works though. I guess it's not so bad. Oh, okay, the masking does work on that. Great. Brush density. Vector eraser. That's cool. Is anybody if you have used Clip Studio Paint, Clip Paint Studio, whatever it's called, let me know, either here live or in the comments. Hmm. Oops. That's weird. Man, this is me in the morning, coughing and like some old man. Not that old. Getting there. Yeah, man, I spent, pardon me, hours yesterday in working on this thing. Fairly happy with it. I think it could be better. There are some things that I would like to change, but I'm not going to. Not necessarily because I'm lazy, but because still learning, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure about some of this stuff on how to use some of these functions in this. There are some things that got me scratching my head in this program. Man, nobody's popped in. I would expect someone to be in here by now. That's okay. It is Friday morning, and you can't see what I'm doing, which can could be boring. But some people come in, and we have cool discussions on music and movies and books. I'm reading like 3 or 4 books right now. Just finished Hard Mountain Clay by C.W. Blackwell. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last live stream. Excellent book. I would encourage you to read it for sure. I'd like to read more books like it. Gotten a lot of recommendations for books lately, which is awesome. Always appreciate that. I accidentally put my shading on the same layer as my underpaint, and I really should not have done that. I should have had more layers on here. And as a result, there's something in this painting that I'm truly not happy with, and it's bugging me, but I don't know that I can fix it without doing the entire thing. So yeah, I guess some of it is just pure laziness. There's really cool watercolor brushes in here. That's actually the thing that that might have turned me on the most about this program is the brushes that already came with it, particularly the watercolor brush, because I'm a huge fan of watercolor. I'm not great at it. My wife is awesome at it. And despite her trying to teach me the ways of watercolor wizardry, I do struggle. She's great. She does mostly animals and leaves and flowers. Sometimes people, and sometimes these really cool looking like man, that freaking sucks. Sometimes she does man, this whole coughing thing is driving me nuts. Sometimes she does like towns or like houses and stuff, churches, and they look very cool. Wet bleed blender, texture blender. Man. Yeah, I feel like maybe I'm just even screwing this up more now. I don't know. Whatever, man. Yeah, I'm just screwing it up. I'm not happy with that. Frick. Not cool, man. I mean, it's not horrendous, but if I don't quit coughing and clearing my throat, I'm going to quit the stream. Nobody wants to hear that. Wish I had the means to. Well, I probably do have the means to show what I'm painting, but then maybe that would just make me nervous and slow me down. I will definitely post the finished thing, though, which I'm sure I'll be finished today. And I'll post that. Wet bleed blender. No one makes me bleed my own blood. When I was younger, in my 20s, I really, really wanted to learn how to paint, and I'd always just drawn with pencils or charcoal, and I had the hardest time understanding the concept of painting. And so when I like using darker colors to shade rather than, because when you're just drawing, you're using the same color. You're just pushing the pen or pencil harder, and that's causing shadows and changes the value. So so I would when I would try to paint, I would just use like gray or something, or like black or something to shade, and I just couldn't. It wouldn't sink in that you just need to use darker colors of the same or lighter colors to add highlights. Couldn't understand the concept. Finally, I got it, and I did like 20 paintings that year, acrylic paintings on canvas, and I had so much fun. The paintings are bad, but I had the time of my life. I was just talking with my wife about this the other day, about how much fun I had doing those crappy paintings. Even though they were so bad, man, I really had fun. It was just this whole new world opened up, and it was such a blast. It's weird. It's weird with the. What if I just put clouds in here? Oops. It's weird how doing this. These different brushes. You can have brushes that, like right now, I'm going to use a cloud brush that takes very little effort to do. It's like cheating, honestly. I mean, there's no way around it. It is cheating. It's almost like using clip art for placing clouds on there. But whatever, man. New layer. Clouds. And stars, because I'm going to put some stars in here, I think. What color? Or I could do some mist. Mist would be cool. To have mist on the beach instead of on the sky, that would actually look really cool. No, that doesn't work out. Okay, we need like white or gray. There we go. Something smaller. Wow, so weird. That is not showing up right. I can't figure that out. Yeah, being a perfectionist is what stops me from painting and drawing. Because I just get stressed out. But doing it digitally, because you can fix your mistakes, it's just a whole different kind of thing. And I really appreciate that. And that's the sole reason why I'm getting back into doing this again, is because of that. Because I can fix all my mistakes. And so if I draw a bad line, it's no big deal. That's weird. What's up, Steve? Good morning. Or whatever time I don't know what time it is where you're at. I don't know how many hours ahead you are. It's probably at least afternoon. Yeah, past lunch. It is 9:43 here. I've been up for almost 2 hours. Well, about 2 hours. Man, why is that not showing up now? So weird. That's not because of that, is it? No, that doesn't make sense. Claw brush size. Weird. Part 7 is your favorite. My favorite Jason is 3. Because it's the only movie that I think where he's legitimately like creepy. Like at the end when he's in that window, dude, that's creepy. Or when he gets when he's hanging in the barn or whatever, and he takes his mask off and then puts it back on. He is messed up looking. So I did a part 3 Jason before he gets the axe to the head. 3 and 4 are my favorite Friday the 13th, and then I really like 5 a lot too, even though Jason's not in it. That has the best characters out of probably all of the movies. The most memorable. Has some great kills. I think it's been a long time since I've seen 7. I think Friday the 13th is the best overall franchise. You know what you're getting. I mean, there are some that are better than others. I'm not a big fan of Jason Takes Manhattan, mainly because it feels like a PG-13 movie. The kills are horrible. I don't like Jason in Space, Jason X, pretty much at all. I just don't like that movie. But even though I like Michael Myers better, and Halloween is a better movie, Halloween 1 and 2, I think with consistency, Friday the 13th they're just more fun. You know, they're not, Halloween is scary, Friday the 13th isn't, but I don't know. They almost feel like, I think for horror fans, they feel like feel-good movies, almost. Which is weird. But why the frick will this not work? This is so bizarre. It must have some kind of weird... Maybe it's... Oh, I think I see why. Nope. What in the world? What? I cannot get this to work. That... So weird. So weird. There we go. That works. Clouds. Screen normal. There we go. Yeah. I watched Jason X last night. Didn't enjoy as much as I remembered. Yeah, man. That robot ninja chick drives me crazy. I think I said this in the last stream. I will say this, though. Jason X has maybe the best kill out of the entire franchise. And you know which one I'm talking about. The Liquid Nitrogen. Movies that suck are the ones where they take Jason out of Crystal Lake. I agree, man. Keep him in the camp. I mean, it may get old, but I mean, it's like the people who read romance. They're reading the same book over and over again, but they enjoy that familiarity. And horror fans of the franchise, that's what we want. We want what we're familiar with. We want the camp. And yes, it's been done to death, but that's what we like. So leave it. Yeah, Friday the 13th movies have become just some of my favorites, man. I just watched part 1 again recently. Which is one of my least favorite, but I seem to appreciate it more and more over the years. I think the main reason why I'm not a huge fan of it is because it just spends so much time. I talked about this on Final Guys a couple weeks ago. It spends so much time. I mean, in the first one, you've got this really long scene of this chick making one dude's off with a lantern, looking around forever, and then while this chick is literally making like coffee, and it's taken her forever, and then she uses a lantern or flashlight or something, and then she's looking around. It's like 15 minutes of nothing, and that's I don't like that with any slasher, and a lot of slashers have that, just creeping around, going from room to room, opening doors, opening shower curtains. Um, it's boring, but you wouldn't criticize a blues guitarist for playing the same chord progression, so why do people criticize slashers, right? This is right. Blues definitely plays the same chord progression, or else it wouldn't be blues, right? I watched part 1 last night too. It's great. Crazy Ralph should have been a returning character. Yeah. Crazy Ralph. It's got a death goes. That guy. He's funny. I'm looking forward to this Friday the 13th TV series that they're going to do. Real curious about that. I think part 7 has the worst death, though. That guy screaming, he's killing me, he stabbed me, oh God. I don't remember that, but that sounds hardcore, man. I vaguely do remember that. How was he killed? He's stabbing me. What's he stabbing him with? Or do you mean worst as in just it's lame and dumb, or do you mean like it's I don't know, hard to watch? That is too glittery. That is too much. Particle size. He's describing what Jason's doing. Yeah. Okay. I vaguely remember that. A couple of my other favorite kills are I love the yellow sleeping bag against the tree. It's just freaking hilarious. I remember the first time I saw that, I laughed so hard. I love that one. The dude folded up in a bed. That's fantastic. I like was it I think it's part 3. The dude doing it has some of the coolest, most imaginative camera and sound effect is the one where the dude is walking on his hands down the hallway, and Jason hits him with a machete and splits him in half. I love that kill. Jason X has the double sleeping bags. Part 2 has the wheelchair. Yeah, the wheelchair is cool. Jason X is the yellow sleeping bag, or is it just it's something different? Final Girl's better in the earlier movies. Yeah, me too. I need to watch 6 and 7 again soon. I think I watched 6 a couple years ago, but 7 I have not seen in a really long time. Does it look like stars? It looks kind of cheesy. 6 has the same opening as 5, and 5 has the same ending as Children of the Corn Part 5. Gosh, I have not seen Children of the Corn Part 5. And I am in no hurry. Boy, that's freaking huge. Okay. I know Hunter loves those movies too. They're like his comfort movies. But he likes part 6 the most. I've heard him say that several times. He likes that the most because he had the most. It was the most fun he ever had watching a movie in the theater. But he recognizes part 4 as being the best one, which I would agree. 3 and 4 are kind of tied for me. You like all the Corn movies. Wow. I know I've seen the first maybe 2, maybe 3. I didn't even like the first one. I kind of enjoyed it when I was a kid when it first came out, and then I saw it a few years ago, and man, that's just not a good movie. Have you seen the one I was talking about on Final Guys, the Disciples of the Crow on YouTube? It's like a 20-minute movie. That is good. It's Children of the Corn, basically, but a better version of it. If they did a new Friday movie, I want Corey Feldman and Kimberly Beck to reprise their roles and go after Jason one final time again. I'm down with that. I need to watch the remake too again. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a little. The end was a little long with the whole chasing the chick all over through his fort, but not bad. Nice. I have it on DVD. I want to get that Blu-ray box set because that looks pretty cool. But then it's like they're just going to come out with another one probably. Oh man. People complain about not having likable characters, but this is far into the franchise. Everyone is there just for Jason. Yeah, why would you want likable characters that make Jason too big and athletic these days? Yeah, I don't understand the likable characters thing. I mean, don't we want them to be unlikable? I mean, or at least memorable, like Corey Feldman was memorable because he was a cute kid and he was into masks and monsters. And then Crispin Glover's character was very memorable. So was his friend, his douchebag friend. One of my favorite characters in the whole franchise is the old woman in part 5 who lives with her son who's probably 35 or something, and she's got real nasty mouth. She has a shotgun. Man, that chick is freaking hilarious. I think she gets a machete to the face or something. Yeah, part 5, you've got the black dude. I can't remember his name. What was his name? Like Demon, or was that his name? Demon? I think. The Come On Enchiladas dude. And then his girlfriend, and then his little brother, the black kid that lived in the place with the all the people. Yeah, Reggie. And then the fat dude with the candy bar, and then the guy that chopped him up. That's such an underrated movie. People can't get past the whole Roy thing. And then you've got that blonde-haired goth chick that does the dancing in her room. That's part 5 too, right? She's not exactly memorable, but he died way too early, the kid with the candy bar. Yeah, he would have made it more interesting, huh? But it's like when he died, it was just such a shocker because he was being killed by somebody who was not Jason, and I mean, that was like the first death on screen, if not killed by somebody who was not Jason, and I mean, that was like the first death on screen, if not, or one of them. Hilarious. Oh, and then you had your coked up couple at the was it the diner? I wanted the blonde girl to listen to punk, not that new wave crap. Yeah. Except part 1. Boat color. Opacity. Ooh, it's way too opaque. They did a Friday TV show before, but it was like it was like I don't know, man. Was it like kind of like a kids X-Files? Not kids, but like Supernatural meets Twilight Zone or something. I don't know. I can't really remember. But I vaguely remember that show. I don't even know if I saw an episode. I probably did. But I don't remember liking it. Which one is Ginny? I'm glad they didn't have a returning final girl in every movie. Got Cecilia Ridley. Oh, yeah. I think the only returning final girl they ever had wasn't it part 1 and 2? And then of course she died right away in part 2 after 10 minutes of doing that thing that I told you that I don't like, searching around, making food. Ginny part 2. Oh, the one who puts the sweater on. And yeah. I think she got asked to be written out because of a stalker. That was, yeah, the girl in the first one. Yeah, I just saw in my, I just like last week watched a panel of Friday the 13th reunion of the original. And she was on there talking about how, yeah, the stalker problem. She still, to this day, you could tell that she was not comfortable giving too many details out about it, but said that she would one day be ready to. I know Danielle Harris. Harris, is that her name? From Halloween, was it 4 and 5? She had a she had a really bad stalker situation as well. That would be scary. Being a hot chick and having some dude freaking messing with you. That'd be really freaky. Danielle she's a good looking woman though, that's for sure. That'd be weird, stalker. Never had a stalker. There was a girl on Facebook once who was sending me inappropriate pictures. That was kind of bizarre. Not super inappropriate pictures, not like full nudes, but she was sending me, and then she sent me video footage too of her like at the bar playing pool, and she sent me these pictures of her cleavage and like posing all. It was freaking weird, man. But I mean, I never felt threatened or anything. It was not a big deal. It was just weird. Yeah, how can I get that? Blend, maybe? I've only seen the first Hatchet movie. Did I block her? I can't remember if I blocked her or if she stopped. I think that she may have stopped, and I thought it was funny. But I'm a dude, so I don't get creeped out by that kind of stuff. So I think I showed my wife. I was like, look at this. This chick is sending. And I probably just kind of laughed it off. I feel like I did say something to her though. Like, you got the wrong dude, or what are you doing? Or I can't remember. The first Hatchet has a really cool kill in it, though. That's for sure. The mouth splitting scene. That's pretty brutal. Pretty cool. It was like King Kong and the day. Yes, dude, that's exactly what it was like, but way cooler. I remember when I saw that King Kong dinosaur thing, I thought, up to that point, that was like the goriest thing I'd ever seen in my life, except for maybe I remember seeing Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, and I haven't seen it since. But at the end, I remember, and dude, this was when I was like 3 or 4. I got a weird memory. My family always makes fun of me that I can remember weird stuff from way back that far. But where Godzilla destroys the Smog Monster and rips him open and starts throwing, I think, his eggs or her eggs or whatever around, and I just thought it was, even though it was black and white, I just thought it was horrible. The version I saw was black and white, and I can't remember if it was because it was on a black and white TV. Because I think I did see it on a black and white TV at my grandma's house, and I just thought that was horribly gory. And then the King Kong and the dinosaur thing too. I thought, wow, that's super gory. by today's standards, that's for sure. I watched The Blob when I was 6 and I couldn't get past when it spread up his arm. I freaked out. The Blob when you were 6. I don't know how old you are. The Blob when you were 6. But you're talking about the remake of The Blob, right? Oh, okay. I actually have never seen that, and I haven't seen the remake since it first came out. It's been a really long time. Yeah, I remember liking the remake, but it's just been a long time. I remember Matt Dillon's brother is in it, isn't he? Kevin Dillon? I think that's the first thing I saw him in. I saw an episode of Doctor Who called The Seeds of Doom, which is like The Thing meets Day of the Trip. It scared the crap out of me. I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes of Doctor Who. Because I'm a completist, I wanted to go all the way back and watch them all. And so I went and I watched the first 2 episodes, and not bad. And then I watched one, or I think I watched some of one where there's mannequins in it. A newer one with the mannequins, and I wasn't a big fan. I don't know why. I probably didn't really bother taking much time. I should have probably taken more time to get into it, watch it, appreciate it. Clothes. Mask. Whoops, what happened? Why did that do that? That's freaking weird. Where? Huh. That's freaking weird. In here, quite honestly, I think it may have been that Godzilla versus Smug Monster thing. I can't be sure, but I think it may have been. I also saw a movie when I was really young that I loved called Curse of the Fly, which in my opinion is the best Fly movie, and not because it was the beginning of my horror adventure, but because I saw it again a couple years ago, and it's an awesome movie, and maybe one of the most underrated horror movies out there, because nobody talks about Curse of the Fly, and I don't understand that. It's a great movie, but I don't know, man. It just that horror has just been. I feel like it's been in my DNA since day one. Very weird. I think Curse of the Fly is on YouTube. Yeah. And from what I remember, it's not a bad like copy of it either. I hope you, if you check it out, I hope you enjoy it. I think it's a great movie, and it's very some of those older movies, they're just all over the place, but this one was pretty straightforward, man. Like it wasn't hard to follow. Really easy to understand. Um, yeah, I really like that movie. It's in I think it's like the original, what the frick? Body horror, man. So much body horror in it. Some really cool body horror stuff in it, like mutated people and stuff like that. It's got some legitimately creepy scenes in it too. I'm not watching horror. I'm watching film noir. If I'm not watching, okay, like what? Like old stuff, like black and white. 30s to 60s. I for some reason I can't get into. I have a hard time with some of them really old movies, man. Like the 30s. I enjoy ones from the 50s sometimes, and I did recently actually watch Wolfman for the very first time. But the Wolfman was like, was that mid to late 30s? Um, I enjoyed that one, but I'm I'm big on the 70s. You hated the Wolfman. Yeah, I'm big on 70s. I just like the aesthetic. I was born in 1970, so I've got that nostalgia attached to it as well. I like stuff from the 60s. And there's some cool horror movies from the 50s I enjoy, but I don't know, 30s and 40s. I have a hard time getting behind. I like Deliverance, not strictly horror, but fits in with The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, Deliverance isn't bad. The Hills Have Eyes. That's not bad. I think there's been a lot of movies since then that have done it better. Movies from the 70s seem to break new ground. Don't get that much now. Yeah, dude. I don't know if you've heard me on Final Guys talk about a movie called The Shout that's from the 70s. Man, that movie is good. So original and creepy. I don't know where you can find it. Well, you could probably find it anywhere. Jason Brandt finally watched it and he enjoyed it too. But for a while there, I was trying to get everybody to watch it because I had never even heard of it, and it was on Shudder for. They had it on there for a month, and it's got the acting is really cool. It's got a very bizarre concept. It's a little avant-garde, a little, but man, is it a good movie. It's on YouTube. That's right. I did see it on YouTube recently. I think it's like a recent, like last year. I think they put it on there. Love that movie. Yeah, I would recommend that. It's got Tim Curry, but he doesn't play like the main. I can't remember the main dude's part, but yeah, that is worth watching. Um, John Hurt is also in it, but there's another guy, like this main weird guy. I would know his name if I heard it, but I don't know that I've ever seen him in anything else. But he was great. Yeah, let me know what you thought of that when you see it. I don't know why. I love discovering movies that it's like, why has no one talked about this? I love that. Because you assume by now you've seen all of the really cool movies, like The Possession that everybody's freaking out about. All of us people that are into horror have never even seen it or heard of it, and all of a sudden it's everywhere. And I mean that's a weird movie. Nobody talks about that movie, Secret Santa. It's so awesome. Yeah, haven't. I'll have to check that out. Haven't seen that one. Maybe I'll check it out for next December. Yeah, that looks horrible. Make sure you get the 2017. There's like 10 Secret Santa movies. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought it was like older, like 70s or 80s. What's up, Lee? What are you drawing, man? What medium are you using? It's not really a Christmas movie. You can watch it anytime. Oh, okay. Secret Santa is not a Christmas movie. Well, that's probably why it's not very popular then, because they don't know what they're doing to market it, maybe. Learning how to draw, drawing manga, sketch in ink. You know, Lee, I'm using a program I just started using that was originally for people. It was the name of the program is called Clip Studio Paint, but it used to be called Manga Paint because it's specifically for not necessarily graphic designers but illustrators. And I've been using that, and you might want to check into it. It's pretty cool, man. I've never tried drawing manga before. Like that style with the tiny noses and tiny mouths and big eyeballs. I don't know that I like that style. I know people love it. When I go on Twitch to watch other artists, most of them are drawing that style. Even a lot of video games are now like the role-playing MMO RPG games like Final Fantasy and a bunch of others all use that kind of that aesthetic, like the Japanimation anime kind of stuff. Yeah, if you go on YouTube and you can check out people talking about the Clip Studio Paint, and it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it, the heck out of it. I just finished. I think I'm pretty much done. Just finished this piece. I'll post it on social media. It's more about the giving secret gifts. Steve, have you ever seen a movie called Macabre? About a woman who is cheating on her husband, and she rents out like a room, and she goes there with this guy, and she's a horrible parent. She has a bad relationship with her kids. I don't want to go too much farther than that if you haven't seen it. It's one of my favorite hidden gems. Well, at the very beginning, her lover is killed, and so she leaves her husband or goes into a mental hospital. Then this is all in the first 5 minutes. Then when she gets out, she starts to live at this place that she used to rent, where she's renting a room, and there's a blind guy who runs it. And You might like it, man. It's pretty crazy. It's called Macabre. I love it. I got to get it on Blu-ray. Have you ever played Outlast? Best horror game on PC ever. No, I have not. I have not. Projects. I haven't played a lot of horror games. If you don't like manga, Berserk is something that I think every horror reader should at least check out. The art style is more realistic and the writing is top notch. My favorite story of all time. So is this okay? I'm not saying I don't like manga. I bought my oldest son Shivers or whatever by Junji in hardcover. And I was getting ready to wrap it, and I thought, man, I've been seeing this all over. I should go ahead and read it. So I did. I enjoyed it. I thought the first maybe 3 or 4 stories weren't that great. They weren't very original, but as the book went on, the stories got a lot better, and the art was good. There were some wild stories in there, man. Some really trippy ones. But I don't think I've heard of Berserk. It's like a stealth game, hiding from lunatics in an asylum. You don't have any weapons, just your wits. That sounds fun. So is it kind of like a puzzle type game too? And does it involve a lot of stealth? My favorite video games are stealth games, like Splinter Cell. A game I'm playing right now called Styx. It's all about being stealthy, sneaking up behind people, pickpocketing them, assassinating them, sneaking around. Love that stuff. I have not played The Last of Us, and I kind of regret that now, dude, because of the show coming out. And I've always heard that it was such a great storyline, making people cry and whatnot. And I actually looked into it the other day to maybe get it for the Xbox. I don't play a whole lot of video games, but I have been doing more of that over the past maybe almost year. I own my own Xbox, and I just don't use it very often. All stealth. You have night vision on a camcorder, but the batteries keep running out. Dude, I'm gonna look into that movie. What was it called? Outlast. I'm gonna look up this Berserk too. Berserk manga. Berserk. So is Berserk like this superhero type looking dude with the black hair and the bangs, spiky hair? Outlast. These people look like zombies. They don't look like they don't have any skin on their bodies. Outlast. I wonder if that's on Xbox. Life is Strange was a great game too. Man, I played a really cool game last year called what was it called? I think it was just one word. It was like the game Limbo, but way better. I played Limbo too and beat that. What the frick was that game called, man? Dang it. Man, it was like a puzzle type game, but it was really bizarre. And the ending was one of the coolest I've ever seen in a game ever. Man, I cannot remember the name of that game. Let me try to use like Limbo. Here it is. What is this called? It's called Inside. It's like a Limbo follow-up, but yeah, way better. I don't know if any of you guys have played Limbo before. Yeah. Well, if you play the game Inside, it's called Inside. That is way better than Limbo. But I love those kinds of games, puzzle type games. Life is Strange. Oh, dude. Okay. Life is Strange. Is that the one where the chick is a amateur photographer? She's going to college to be a photographer. Oh, you played Inside, but you prefer Limbo? Okay. Dude, the end of Inside, where the blob thing, that was so cool. I love that. This, okay, so that is the game. Okay, I did start playing Life is Strange, and there was a lot of reading and stuff, and then I got to, it wasn't a lighthouse, was it? I don't know. There was a storm, and it was at the very beginning where she left class and she went to this place, and then I quit playing it. I didn't know if it was just going to be like this kind of reading a book as you move around thing, because I've never really played. I know those are popular, and I've never really played a game like that before. But if that's not what it's like, then she can reverse time, but it changes the story, impacts the other characters. Okay. The end of Limbo. I can't remember the end of Limbo. Doesn't he die? And then it just ends? Or no, you find a girl. You find a girl. I can't remember. I think you find this girl. Little Nightmares. Life is Strange made me cry in front of my brother. Kind of embarrassing. That's cool. Outlast is on Xbox for $20. Yeah. Yeah, a girl, sister, I don't know what it was. I can't remember. But I did enjoy that game. Not as much as Inside, but pretty close. Get Outlast, trust me, I think you'll dig it. So tense. I might do that, man. I'll probably look into it a little bit more just to make sure that it is something that I would like before I drop $20 on it. I'll vouch for Outlast as well. Some of those levels you have to YouTube the solutions. Wow. Dude, I don't give up easy. You can ask my wife and kids, man. They make fun of me because I will just like in those puzzle games and stuff, I'll just sit there forever trying to figure it out on my own before I hit the internet. Leave that chase scene where you have to get to the dumbwaiter. And you guys are making me want to play video games now. I've been wanting to play World of Warcraft again because I haven't touched the new expansion that came out a couple months ago. I used to play WoW too much for the first 6 years that it came out, but over the last 8 or 9, I'll dip in for a month or two and then stop playing for a year. Much healthier to do it that way. I spent 3 hours completing a level of Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball, I haven't played that. Out of the blue question, what kind of guitar player are you? I'm rhythm. I can pretty much only do power chords. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a lead. I've played lead in every band I've been in, but I'm not like a virtuoso guitar player. I'm not like a huge, yeah, I'm not big on that. So, I mean, there are a lot of people out there they could, do a better job than I. So if I were to get in a band again, um, I guess a rhythm. Who knows some leads? I mean, um, I definitely know more than just power chords, but um, and yeah, but I'm no virtuoso by any means. I can't do chords, so I play bass. Then you just have to practice the chords, Steve. My son, my youngest son plays bass. My oldest son plays guitar and drums, but he doesn't do it often. I wish he would, because he's good. He learned drums really fast. He learned guitar pretty fast too. But all my kids, but my daughter doesn't play any instruments, but my boys pick up um, on how to do stuff fast, particularly instruments. And I think that might run in the family because my sister and my brother are like that too. They picked up on piano. My sister plays piano and guitar, and my brother plays guitar and drums. And he's a better drummer than he is a guitar player, but he's good at both. My sister's got a great voice too. Yeah, I just bought my youngest an amp for his bass. Do you own a bass, Steve? Lee, what kind of guitar do you have? Am I into Opeth? Not really. I mean, I've checked them out. I haven't checked them out enough to really have an opinion. Um, from what I understand, their early stuff sounds a lot different than their newer stuff, I think. Isn't their older stuff a little bit more like black metal or death metal? I don't know. And then they got a little bit more technical, I think, almost like a prog metal. Cro-Mags, yes, of course. Yeah, my oldest son is really into the Cro-Mags as well. He likes them a lot. He doesn't like the new CD though that came out a couple years ago because I bought it for him, and he didn't really like it. I always like the bass player style playing. Yeah, what's his name? Harley Flanagan. That dude was in that band when he was, I think, 13. I play acoustic and have a cheap Strat. I have a cheap Strat too, like a Strat copy, a Fernandez, but it's a great guitar, and it's not working right now because it needs some work. but I've played a lot of shows with it and stuff, and it's I like that guitar. I bought a new one last year, like last fall. I bought a Schecter, which I had never heard before, but I'm real pleased with it. It wasn't very much money. I think I paid like $300 or $400 for it. Stays in tune. The action is good, and yeah, I'm happy with it. Definitely worth the money that I paid for it, and it's a gorgeous color too. And as far as acoustics, I have a 12 string and 1, 2, 3, 4 acoustics. But I only really play one of them, and I don't play the 12 string at all. I don't know why. I just don't. I haven't touched a bass in like 30 years. Used to play in bands that never went anywhere. Yeah, none of my bands went anywhere. I mean, we would record. A couple of them recorded, just like on, I think, not like pro recording, like in studio, more like, hey, we know a guy who owns an 8-track or a 24-track. And so we would do that. And then play shows like locally. Stuff like that. It's fun. I miss it though. It was never my goal really to be famous doing it. I just wanted to be in bands playing actively, even if it was just locally. Shoot, I'd be in a band right now if we didn't play anywhere and we just practiced. I don't even care at this point. Shoot, even if it was like a bar band type stuff, I've been in a couple of those where we just do covers. Those aren't as fun, but it's still fun. I'd rather write my own music. Maiden covers. No, we didn't do any. I don't think we did any Maiden. No. We did stuff like classic rock, like Thin Lizzy, like some Judas Priest. Man, it's been a while. The Cars, Metallica. I guess Metallica isn't classic rock, but some one-hit wonder bands like Fastway and Driving and Crying and a couple bands like that. AC/DC, Black Sabbath. We used to drink in a pub with Cradle of Filth, and all the bands thought they would never make it because grunge was huge. They were the only band who did go on to have a career. I don't know that I've actually ever listened to Cradle of Filth. I mean, I know what they look like. I don't know what kind of music they play. I think that I always thought that they just play black metal, and I cannot stand black metal. But I mean, if you look, let's face it, if you look at the band and you see their skull paint, their corpse paint, if they don't play black metal, then it's easily understandable to think why you would think they would. Got to go to work. It was awesome hanging out. Long days and pleasant nights. All right, buddy. You have a great day at work, man. See you, Lee. I think I'm going to bail and go get some reading in, see what the wife is doing. think she's working on a painting. And thanks for tuning in, man. Even those who just hung out in the chat without saying a word, that's fine. But I posted the thing I was working on. I posted on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter if anybody wants to look at it. Sorry you couldn't watch me as I was working on it. I don't know how much more exciting that would be anyway, but tonight, I almost forgot, I will be on Steve Talks Books. I think that's the name of the YouTube channel. Let me find out for sure. I'll be on there with Laurel Hightower. Talking. Yeah, Steve Talks Books. Cool guy. I'll post links, or you can Google it. He's already got a thing set up, so if you want it to notify you. You are off to the pub. Way too early, my friend. Way too early. Would you have fun and be safe? And I will see you, Steve, probably at least next Tuesday night, maybe.